Brooks is Bennett, preseason first team all-conference pick. Latong, second team, and he wants a 3. Missed it, and Mingo on the gather. Penn State, Caden Mingo, Dominic Stewart, Josh Reed, Eli Rice, and Sasha Ciani. And this is Ciani off his foot, and Jones the steal. And Keontae Jones, new member of the Dayton family, playing this basketball last year at Cal State Northridge, and I know the Flyer fans are excited to see this young man.
Yeah, and that's what Dayton wants to see. I know, talking with the staff, they want to see Dayton turn defense into offense right there. As you see Jones getting it off of the turnover and then finishing in transition. They've got a lot of athletic players on the wing that want to play up-tempo this year. Right there was a good sign.
Brooks, this guy is a stat stuffer as he missed the free throw. Bennett trying to steal it away from Josh Reed, but you look at the numbers that Keontae Jones put up last year at Cal State Northridge. It makes you sort of scratch your head.
You know, the comparison, and for Dayton fans, they'll recognize the name. The comparison that coaches keep giving me is Trey Landers, but just with a little bit more offensive ability. And what they're talking about is his kind of that junkyard dog mentality, just a tough, gritty, hard-nosed kid that just gets it done any way he can. And so Dayton is very excited about Jones being here.
Josh Reed going to call timeout as Dayton some full court pressure. Reed, familiar with Southwest Ohio, one of the very few players with a lot of playing experience. 97 games for UC, actually graduated in 3 years. But this is, you know, there's going to be times for Penn State today, Brooks, where we see maybe Coach Rhodes playing 4 to 5 freshmen.
Yeah, I mean, 10 new guys on this Nittany Lions roster. And by the way, we all have to remind ourselves throughout this game, it's an exhibition. This is a public scrimmage, so you're going to see both sides kind of tinkering with lineups. Not sure how much they'll show in terms of strategy, because you don't want to give too much for film. But also, you got guys that are going to, the coaches are trying to figure out rotations and roles and all these different things. So you're going to see a lot of yeah, it's chess, but the necessary outcome isn't to win the ball game. It's also situational work. You know, how do you handle certain situations? That's going to be what's going to happen today.
I love that you mentioned, and it's important that we throw this out there multiple times, exhibition game, because there are a couple of different things that folks might, the referees are going to let them play, but you can't foul out of this game. It would be a game I'd be thrilled to play in.
Yeah.
But we got a fantastic crew on hand. Bert Smith, James Brady, Roger Ayers. Late in the shot clock here, and Nittany Lions in trouble as Eli Rice threw it up, but not in time. And how about that defensive sequence by Dayton, just suffocating?
Yeah, the first minute, 10 seconds right here for Flyers. That's kind of what the coaching staff was hoping would be the identity of this team. Again, I mentioned earlier, they got a lot of great athletes, tough-minded, hard-nosed guys that just want to get after you defensively. You already saw Dayton picking up the pressure, full court, and also not letting back in the half court.
Latong will hand off to Deshane Montgomery. Last year playing at Georgia, travel violation here on Javon Bennett. Montgomery had an outstanding season at Mount St. Mary's, where he started his career, was actually Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference Rookie of the Year, and last year appearing in 17 games for the Georgia Bulldogs. Inbound to Reed, now to Mingo. Brooks, and looking back to your day, the exhibition, it has changed so much. What we used to see as a secret scrimmage, now teams a lot more out in front of fans and, you know, putting in the work in actual game settings. As Reed, a loose ball, picks it up, lost it. But what's the main goal today for both coaching staffs?
Well, I love it. I mean, I get the behind closed doors, you know, the secret scrimmages. I understand the concept behind that.
Oh.
But what I love about the public scrimmages, these open exhibitions, you don't play the regular season games in empty gyms, right? So it gives guys time to kind of get acclimated, especially for Dayton, for example. Some of these guys haven't played in front of these crowds, you know, getting used to playing in front of 13,000 every night. You know, Penn State is coming in here and playing on the road in an environment where there's a lot of crowd and getting used to a tough environment. So there's a lot of benefits of playing, you know, open scrimmages or open exhibitions.
Penn State having a tough time getting it in, but finally able to find Eli Rice. And it's great to see this young man back out on the floor. Last year, an Achilles injury, only played in one game for the Nittany Lions. There's another turnover for the blue and white. But Rice, one of the 4 co-captains, Jacob Connor wants a corner 3. He's got one.
Dayton has high expectations for Jacob Connor. Last year, he kind of just wanted to fit in, figure out his role, take open shots. This year, the aggression is going to be there. You're going to look for Jacob Connor to really look for his on the offensive end because they need his shot-making ability. But a great answer right there by Penn State, or Rice on the other end.
And that's what he does best. He can really shoot the basketball, and it was terrific penetration by Mingo. Letong puts it on the floor with the left.
Well, that's what makes him such a tough cover, 7-1, but he can shoot the 3 really well, so you can't stay off of him. But when you close out, and usually he's going to have bigger guys on him, so when you close out, he can get to the basket and put it down and then create once he gets into that paint.
It's a great catch in the corner by Rice. He'll pull the trigger. Long on that 3 attempt. Rebound comes to Keontae Jones, a grad student from Madison, Wisconsin. He'll cut here. He's got himself a dunk.
Well, we just talked about Letong's ability to make plays for others. You know, talking to the Dayton staff, a lot of the plays are going to run through Letong because of his elite passing ability, as we saw right there. Great back cut by Jones. Excellent pass by Letong.
3-ball, corner pocket. Josh Reed unable to convert. Flyers trying to push. Javon Bejan, hesitation move. Just rolled off the rim. Good rebound by Reed as Jones and Dayton active hands here early.
Well, you see Penn State trying to get used to the activity on the defensive end by Dayton. Now, Penn State, last year's team averaged 79 points a game, the most in Penn State history. So they're going to figure this out. They want to play fast. You see a great pull-up right there by Mingo. But Penn State wants to spread you out, get into the lane, create for others, and then they surround you with shooting ability. So they're just going to figure out this is going to be a great test for them because of Dayton's perimeter defensive ability.
Oh, the lob. Letong unable to make the catch. Montgomery on the find, and a 3 in transition is short from Stewart, but on the cleanup, it's Josh Reed.
That's what they want to do. Penn State wants to play fast. They want to get the early looks, quick looks right there, a quick transition 3. But what happens when you have the defense trailing behind, that opens up opportunities for offensive rebounds, as we saw right there.
Jones, 3-pointer no. Letong trying to tip it in. He'll be at the line when we return. Off and running. Hope your Sunday's going well. Thanks for checking in with us. It's Dayton and Penn State. And Jacob Connor finding the 3 early.
The amount of strength and courage that Coach Grant and his wife Chris has shown over the last few years, I mean, it's remarkable. Even today, you can see, yes, it's a great cause and all that, and the Jay's Light Foundation that the Grant family started. But, you know, this is a reminder of what they went through. I mean, watching Coach Grant and his wife at half court receive that check, even you can see the looks on their faces heavy, and it's just a reminder of how fragile life is, and you never know what someone's ceiling is extremely high. He's explosive, his knack for rebounding and shot blocking. You saw his athleticism, even though he didn't finish on the last play. You know, it's just going to be how quickly does he pick up on Coach Grant's system? That'll determine some of his minutes this year, but they're definitely high on his potential.
Poor jumper, Dillion finding his way into the game. Double figures in 17 games last year for Penn State. Leading the way here for the Nittany Lions early. Keontae Jones. Oh, some strength there getting to the hoop.
Yeah, extremely aggressive drive to the basket. Jones he's athletic, but he also plays under control right there. You saw him come to a 2-foot stop, kind of get the defender off balance, and then was able to finish through a little bit of contact.
By Rice, 3-pointer, wide right. Rebound, though, comes to Sasha Ciani, but he's unable to convert, and Jacob Connor going to the hoop. Lost it on the way up. Keontae Jones leading all scorers with 8. Dillion here with the left-hand dribble. The top scorer for the Nittany Lions with 6. And there we got a whistle and a foul. As this is going to go against Amaël Letong.
And last year, Penn State, again, we talked about their scoring ability, 79 points a game, and they ran a lot of ball screen action. Now, the roster looks a little bit different. They're trying to figure out if they're going to be able to do that as much this year, but anytime they've gotten into ball screen action, they've gotten a good look in the half court. That's why Dayton wants to keep you uncomfortable. They don't want you to get into your sets and allow you to put them into ball screen action.
Reed, the former Bearcat, will give to Gianni. He knows about Cincinnati, Ohio. He was at Xavier his freshman season before going to UIC and putting up some good numbers a year ago. Lost it, got it back, and we got to travel. Gianni from Slovenia meeting up with Amaël Latong. A lot of FIBA experience out here, and Latong the latest in U20 this past summer for France.
Yeah, went over there and had a successful couple of months while he was gone, and I think he was gone for 7 weeks. Now Dayton wants to play through Latong. Just the thing they want to see him add, and as well as NBA stouts, and his physicality. Everybody knows how great of a player he is, how highly skilled he is, but the physicality of the game. Is he going to be able to bring that? And the sooner he's able to bring some physicality to the game, the quicker and higher his stock is going to jump up.
Javon Bennett, another three-pointer. It was a nice find from Adam Jai, and there you can understand why they're so high on Caden Mingo coming back the other way quickly.
Yeah, he's a guy that can go get his. He doesn't need ball screens. He's tough off of ball screens. He can also space you out and just get by you. Very good three-point shooter. As he starts to figure out this college game, he is going to be a force.
Jai going to be called for steps and a turnover. And both teams will go to the bench. Ivan Urich in for Penn State, and Bryce Hurd returns for Dayton.
You know, one of the challenges, Alex, when you're trying to get a team to play up-tempo, play fast, or play with tempo, is getting them to recognize when. It's not always good to play fast. Sometimes you want to slow it down and get a good look. You saw right the last play, he got sped up a little bit and caused a turnover, and then right there in pressure, Penn State did a great job handling the full court trap, advanced the basketball, moved it from one side of the court to the other, and got a wide open look, was able to knock it down.
So Rice, his second field goal. We got a foul on this end. Reggie Groden has come into the game for Penn State. Is the freshman able to find the assist on that last made bucket for the Nittany Lions? We're going to break. And Sunday, that'll be next Sunday, October 26th. And Amaël Latong and the Flyers are going to take on Bowling Green State University Monday, October 27th. Hurd out of Chicago, Illinois. Here's to Deshane Montgomery from the Sunshine State in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. 8 to shoot, back in Hurd's hands. Here's Latong, lost it, got it back, falls to Jai, looks at the clock, missed the three, but there's Latong on the putback.
Now, while it might look like Dayton caught a break, almost turnover, what you want to point out on the positive was Latong's ability to stay active, keep his hands active, was able to fight for that possession, which ended up leading to an opportunity for that offensive putback.
There's a New York City matchup. Mingo going at Jai. And Adam Jai doing well to force a jump ball. It's going to stay with the Nittany Lions, though.
How nice is it to, if you do get beat off the dribble, you got 7-1 waiting at the rim for your protection.
Well, and don't think that the Flyers don't understand that. I mean, I think, one player we haven't mentioned, it is important to throw out there. Dayton's playing without Jordan Durkak, who, could very well be a starter for Coach Anthony Grant and what he was able to do at Merrimack and then last year at Rutgers. But Dayton's going to have some active hands and maybe taking some more chances with steals, knowing that they got Amaël Latong waiting in the paint.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it was the same concept when Deron Holmes was here, who's now in the NBA. When you know you have somebody at the rim, a rim protector, it allows you to be more aggressive, take some more chances on the perimeter. So Dayton's going to rely on helping, but they're going to rely on Latong being at the rim to kind of deter or alter shots.
And so after the whistle, Give the ball back to Penn State. Now finally able to get it in. Ivan Juric played last year in Kansas. And the Croatian giving way to the Slovenian and Tibor Mirtic. And boy, Dayton's pressure, it's been intense here early, Brooks.
Yeah, man, it just literally keeps you off balance. It keeps you uncomfortable, and it also pushes you away from the rim. I mean, what do you do when you start to feel pressure with the basketball? A lot of times you retreat, you back up, and that's what Dayton's defense is doing to Penn State.
Latong missing on the three. Last year he shot 33% from distance. And as this ball is kicked and lost out of bounds, it'll stay with Penn State. Malcolm Thomas back on for the Flyers. Nittany Lions bring on Dominic Stewart, and Caden Mingo will take a seat.
It's going to be interesting to see what Penn State does. And
Josh Reed, who missed on the other end for Penn State. Nittany Lions 2 of 8 from 3. Dayton shooting a much higher percentage, 3 of 5. Javon Bennett's got 2 of them, and here he is with the basketball, giving way to Jones. And the top scorer in this game at 8. Latong. Jones, the attack. Oh, he has been impressive, Brooks.
yeah, he has. And one thing that I'm really noticing with Jones that I'm really impressed with, he knows when to attack. He can see. So Dayton has been great with the movement. There's a lot of movement in their offense for the most part. And Jones sees when there's movement going on away and the defense is rotating away from you, that's a time to attack. And he's done that 2 or 3 times, and it's been successful each time.
Give you some of the numbers on Keontae Jones. Last year was all Big West first team. He had 14 double-doubles.
I believe it.
13 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. The guy was just putting up some serious stats. And he's got Dayton a 10-point lead right now. Mingo, stop, pop, score.
Yeah, that's what he does. Again, we talked about it. He can go get a basket. And why that's important is because when teams are on runs, Dayton was on a run. Mingo was able to just slow it down, create something, and stop the momentum.
Montgomery rimmed in and out. But that's good action from Dayton. Mingo trying to get into his groove. Oh, great find, and it's Reed at the rim.
There Mingo goes again, right? Last possession, he just went ahead and took it upon himself to get a basket. That time got into the lane. Great cut by Reed. Connor fell asleep on the weak side. That Reed made that back cut, and Connor fell asleep. But again, great playmaking ability by Mingo.
Travel. That was really good help. And Dillion coming in to assist. And Sasha Ciani, as you see the find, Mingo to Reed, and an easy 2. And Mingo, we highlighted it, one of the top recruits for this class, and the top recruit in Penn State history. Loses out of bounds here, and good defense by Javon Bennett.
Well, and Mingo won't be afraid of the stage. We kind of talked about it early in the broadcast. He's played at a high level. He hasn't played in college, but the level he played at Lou High, which if you looked him up, all people in the game know about Lou High. And then he played in the Nike EYBL circuit, which a lot of times has some of the best athletes, in the country. So he's not afraid of this moment and not afraid of the competition. He's ready to kind of take, and that's why they named him captain as a freshman.
Jones faked on 3, going to the rim. He'll be at the line to shoot 2. The thing I love about Mingo, it's a guy, a player of the year and a Gatorade player of the year for New York. How New York is it that he announced his commitment on the Breakfast Club?
I did not know that, did he?
Yes. And he's a fun player to watch, and he is going to make folks in Happy Valley smile for sure. And right now here at Dayton, Flyer fans are excited about Keontae Jones.
Hold on, man. Get back to that Breakfast Club. What you know about the Breakfast Club, man? You listening?
Charlemagne the God? I mean, come on, Brooks.
All right, bro. My fault, player.
Don't think I'm not connected. You know DJ MV.
Yeah. Angela Yee, she's not on there anymore.
No,
but
no.
Yeah.
She's all right, 8-point game. As Brooks and I are having fun. I hope you're enjoying your Sunday as CareSource Invitational, big stretch of basketball here in Dayton in the next couple of days. 3 games total. So we're going to push, and Jacob Connor being called on the foul. This will be the 7th team foul for Dayton, so it'll be a 1-and-1 for Eli Rice.
And that's the one thing that we're going to be looking for with Jacob Connor is his ability on the defensive end, right? So we talked about the perimeter defense ability for the Flyers. Jacob is the one question mark, and not that he can't defend, but that's who they're going to offense are going to attack. And he's a solid defender, but a couple times early in this first half, he's gotten beat on some drives. He's gotten beat on a couple backdoor cuts, so he's going to just need to be locked in defensively, and that'll make sure, and that's how he'll stay on the court.
Eli Rice got 8 points to match Freddie Dillion. Rice mentioned just a really tough Achilles injury and missed all of last season. And you can tell how excited he is to be out there. A couple threes now, a couple free throws. Minute to play, Dayton up by 6. Latong, he'll be at the foul line. Brooks, talk about Amaël Latong, one, being able to play this year for his home country, but also sort of the wear and tear and not necessarily getting a break like some of his other teammates, and then I think maybe spending some of that time in the weight room.
Yeah, and you know, you don't want to put that commentator's jinx out there, but a guy that size oftentimes deals with injuries or just being banged up and nicked up. He has been fortunate enough not to really deal with that, especially a guy that has the basketball in his hand, is involved in a lot of the action inside and outside. So that's why they really want him. Yeah, along with the benefits to being stronger in terms of improving your game, it also helps with durability. So they're going to continue to work on his body because they need this young man. If he has the type of season that they're hopeful he can have, you know, you're looking at a very dangerous top 25 caliber's team. But a lot of that's going to depend on his production.
Reed stepping into a double team, but able to find Mingo. Good hands there by Montgomery to knock it away from Freddie Dillion, the 5th.
Listen, I've been very impressed with Montgomery's defensive ability. He is a lockdown defender. He's explosive on the offensive end. You know, hasn't gotten his offense going this game. 0 for 4 from the field and right on cue. We talk about.
He heard you.
Yeah, he heard me, but man, his ability to defend has really been standing out to me this afternoon.
Well, he also kind of had his issue with injuries last season at Georgia.
Well, and he's up.
I don't think a foul was called. Yeah, it's just going to be ball out of bounds.
It wasn't called, but that's what Montgomery's upset about. He felt like he won the position to the basketball, and he kind of got knocked out of the way. So he was thinking he got fouled.
Well, one thing I think's been interesting about this first half, it has been Jamal Brunt, who has been sort of calling out most of the action from the Penn State sideline. Mike Rhodes kind of a little bit of a back seat. Has been sitting down most of the half. Here's Rice, deep 3, had to fire it though with the shot clock winding down. Reed got the rebound. He's got an extra possession here for the Nittany Lions.
You can see that Penn State is starting to find their rhythm, their flow. Early on, I would say within the first 8 minutes of the first half, they couldn't even get a good look. Now you can see over the last 10 minutes, probably this half, they're starting to get whatever looks they want, getting wide open looks. They're running their sets. And again, that's what these exhibitions are for. It's a public dress rehearsal for the opener, and both teams are getting a lot out of this.
Foul on Javon Bennett off the inbounds. And trying to get through that screen. It's going to be the 1-and-1 here for Caden Mingo. Around and down. For Penn State, they got to feel pretty good here. And, just free throw from Mingo, chance to get it to 4. They were down 10 just a couple of minutes ago. And it might be closer. Can Rice save it? No, he was out of bounds. And I would assume Dayton would hold here for the last shot.
Yeah, they definitely will. But I'm looking at Penn State, the box score, and they've got to be happy right now. They've got 5 guys that have scored, and those guys are, between 4 and 8 points. So you like how it's spread out. Yeah, because that's the more weapons you have in the court, obviously the tougher it is to guard.
Montgomery able to break some pressure from Penn State. Now Javon Bennett happy to hold.
Probably just going to see a little 2-man game between Latong and Bennett to end this half.
Pick and pop. Latong will line it up. It's off the back iron. Here's Bennett. Oh, Latong another chance. 34-29. Halftime from Dayton.
Happy with how things are going because there's a lot of teachable moments that they'll be able to go back and watch on film.
Dayton being led by Keontae Jones with 13 points. Eli Rice leading the way for Penn State with 8. Here is Jones spinning and scoring and slamming.
Hey, that young man is a problem. Just a matchup nightmare because he can get to the basket. He explodes at the rim. And what we haven't seen, he's actually a capable shooter from the perimeter. Guys are going to start backing off of him, daring him to shoot, and he can actually knock that down as well.
Yeah, last year he was 13-34 from 3. That 38%. That's not a bad number,
yeah.
But it's not necessarily in his game. But he can step away. Reed missing in the paint. Flyers got off to a good start in this one. We'll see how they start here in the second half. It's a similar story. Mingo called on the foul.
Well, one thing that won't be a true test in terms of moving forward when the regular season gets started is a true test of depth. It won't happen because of foul. They're not counting fouls, right? So how do teams respond when there's guys getting foul trouble and how guys will step up? So that's one thing you won't be able to tell. You see Javon Bennett with a crafty pass over top. Now, how nice is it, Alex? You can throw any kind of pass you want to a 7'1" guy, low, high, wherever, and know that he's got the hands to catch it. What a luxury.
Well, he was able to finish there, and Dayton forcing a turnover on the other, and they want to run Montgomery. So Dayton has come out with 6 straight points, and they got their largest lead in this contest at 11.
Yeah, they started this game off, or they started the second half off the same way they started the game off. Good timeout right there by Penn State to get back and regroup.
So Mike Rhodes, after that talk in the locker room, wants to talk with his group again. We're going to take a break. Dayton roster for Penn State, and what comes from their connections is some of those guys playing overseas.
Yeah, a lot of international talent, but it comes out of those connections. And you see Rice got another good look there, but yeah, the connections to international players and access to international players, sometimes, man, that's a separator. And you see in some schools, that's actually one of their main forms of recruiting is to go across the water and find talent.
Jacob Connor, hometown product. You saw there 24 in red on your screen. Penn State still looking for their first bucket. Missed 3 from Dominic Stewart. And on the run out, Montgomery able to finish.
He made that look really easy, and that was a very athletic play, a tough over the shoulder catch to gather all in one motion while not traveling and finishing on the other side of the rim with his offhand, by the way. Very smooth play.
Jones got the assist. Montgomery trying to get another steal, but Mingo able to run it down. Montgomery's going to be called on the foul. Brooks, are you expecting the Flyers to play faster this year?
Absolutely, and I know we hear that every year that we want to see this team play faster, but they actually now have a roster built to play fast. You can't just have 2 or 3 guys that play up tempo. They've got about 6, 7 guys on this team that can get up the court. 3 or 4 very explosive players, and that's what you need to be a true up tempo team.
Dillion missed. Juric had a go at it, and it came back to Freddie Dillon, and it looks like he'll be at the line to shoot 2.
So when you're looking and trying to figure out what might be some of the sore spots or areas of weakness for a team, for this Flyers team, it's going to be offense. It's going to be rebounding, right? It's going to be, because if you look at them, they're not physically imposing. They don't have a bunch of 6'10", 6'11 guys, the 240, 245, they can just knock you around the paint and rebound the basketball. So they're going to have to gang rebound, be active, help each other out, those kind of things. But if that's going to be something to watch throughout this season, because it could be a potential Achilles heel for the Flyers.
Dillon 1 for 2. It's a first point for Penn State here in the second half. Nittany Lions 3 of 8 from the foul line. Latong finding Connor and finger roll at the front of the rim.
Yeah, that's Dayton's 7'1" forward/post, putting the basketball on the ground and finding a cross-court cutter, slashing to the basket for 2. Just incredible vision by Latong.
Mingo passes on the 3. Floater, wow. Caden Mingo, he's a 3-level scorer.
Absolutely.
He can get to the rim. I've been impressed with his mid-range game here as Rice called on the foul and trying to help with Latong. But Caden Mingo, you can understand why they're so high on this young man and why, just as a freshman, he's already been named captain.
Yeah, and that mid-range finish, right now the mid-range game, everybody knows that it's a dying art. A lot of people either threes or at the basket, but you just saw why the mid-range game is still important, because he got around Javon Bennett and saw 7'1" waiting on him at the rim, so he decided to pull up for that little midi. That's why it's good that you still have that in your bag.
Bennett missed on the 3. Latong give and go with Bennett. And it'll be Amaël at the stripe to shoot 2. Finishing our points on Mingo, he's been efficient. He's got 9 points. He's 4 of 5 from the field, 2 assists, 2 turnovers. And Amaël Latong, he's looking for points 9 and 10, trying to be the second Flyer in double figures. Nice in that first free throw.
Speaking of Mingo, I'm really impressed with his poise. You kind of just hit on it when you talked about he's been efficient. And we talked about how aggressive Dayton plays defensively. So you've got this freshman coming in, captain, a lot of pressure. He's on the road playing in front of, I'd say there's probably 12,000 in here today, 11, 12,000 in here today, playing in front of those. And he's not forcing it. He doesn't look rattled. He looks bored. Only 2 turnovers, 4 or 5 from the field. So Mingo is doing an excellent job kind of controlling the tempo and doing a good job. So, wait till he gets more comfortable. Can you imagine what? Come on, man. Why they got us on TV like that, man? Who did that?
And the ball was coming. The ball was coming our way. Keith Walaskowski still got it.
What's bad is I'm glad the camera shot came later, because I jumped so bad.
You thought Jacob Connor was going to be in your lap.
I wasn't looking, man. Yeah.
Look at Keontae Jones. He is guarding right now. Flyers really getting after Penn State. Is credit Mason Blackwood for staying with the possession. Here's Dillon. Missed it. Rebound Blackwood. And Latong was a presence underneath. Dayton running out. Montgomery, Jones. Nice catch there. As on a Saturday, that was the back of the end zone, or I should say a Sunday. And that was not the best pass, but again, exhibition game. And Rice on the floor, able to find Urich. And the Nittany Lions able to find a field goal.
Hey, they'll take it how they can get it at this point, because Dayton has had the clamps on them in this second half. So anything to break that up.
Whoa. Deshane Montgomery on the finish, and Amaël Latong, his 5th assist. Blackwood, 3-pointer. Missed it long. And that ball.
Kind of hard to see what he's trying to do. If you compare him to last year's group, again, it's a different look. Very up tempo, applied a lot of pressure, scored a lot of points. This is a tough matchup for them to kind of see what they want to do. That's a really tough shot by Dillon, but trying to figure out what their identity is going to be. Right now I can't tell what it's going to be, because Dayton has taken them out of this game for the most part. But they've had some bright spots. You've seen, Mingo make some plays, and he's going to be somebody they're going to be relying on. You can see Dillon you know, he made some tough shots. Rice got going early. I mean, they've got some pieces there, just trying to figure out what their identity is going to be.
Latong threw it away. Dillion on the steal. Looking for reinforcements. Finds it in Rice. Missing. And Eli Rice, he was a part of the coverage for Penn State in Media Day. Started his career at Nebraska. And seen 17 games with the Cornhuskers. Of course, Jacob Connor started his career with Marshall, missing on the three, but Latong the rebound and always looking for his teammates. It's Jan Simon who's fouled. He'll be at the line, shoot two.
Well, you nailed it right there. I was getting ready to say, Latong, first of all, did a great job. Great hands, kind of tapped the basketball to only where he can get it, as you see right here, and then immediately starts looking for teammates. Gets his head up and then made a nice pass to a cutting Simon. Almost was able to convert the and one.
Boy, Amaël Latong, look at the box score. 10 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. And Simon, you know, he's at the line here. He misses the first, but he knocks in the second. This is one of those where it's not an assist, but you're still generating points for your team. And Simon is able to convert there. And Dayton picking up full court and getting a steal from it.
Yeah, again, we talked about it. It's not trying to run the score up. Coach is not paying attention to the score. Coach Grant's not right now. They're working on things. This is what they're going to do year in and year out. So right now, he's continuing to apply pressure so they can work on their full court press.
John missing on the three. It was a nice drive by Bennett. Simon on the rebound, and he's got a bucket and a foul and a free throw coming. Jan Simon, this guy gave the Flyers some really nice minutes off the bench a year ago. What does year 2 look like? And I think for him, he'd love to showcase his offensive game a little bit more.
It's that. His game, if Simon wants to earn extended minutes, it's going to be doing what he's doing right now, what he did when he got in the game last year. It's activity, active on the glass, creating second chance opportunities for his team, finishing at the rim, those kind of things, doing the dirty work. That's how he's going to earn additional minutes on this team.
Latong, traffic. There's good defense there by Ivan Juric, but right now, Penn State having a really tough time bringing the ball up the court. Another turnover for the Nittany Lions. Jai, cross-court pass, Connor, the extra one. Simon didn't pull the trigger. He'll drive. Floater is good.
Well, and that came off of what we call, a swing. So was it a penetrate kick opposite, a quick swing to Simon, which, again, forced the defense to move, which then allowed you to attack. That's what he's able to do right there.
Penetration, Blackwood. That's the jump stop, able to score it. As he gets his first bucket this afternoon. Latong trying to find his first three, in and out. Dillion. It's going to stay with the Nittany Lions. All right, taking a break. Dayton has been on cruise control, the most improved team.